This is that once in a lifetime.
Hey, so I've been wanting to film a video about going vegan for a while now, but never got around to it. So I figured I would just do the vegan tag today, and this would kind of go over everything I wanted to talk about anyways. So here we go. So I became vegan August 2016. So last year, it's been a little over a year, and I went vegetarian the summer leading up to that. I became vegan for all three reasons that anybody does go vegan. So to help the environment, to help the animals, and for my own health. When I was in the first semester of my freshman year of college, I started watching a few vegan YouTubers, and it was through them that I discovered more resources to learn about veganism. And the first of those were Forks Over Knives. I think from there I jumped off to other documentaries that were about the health aspect of veganism that are just on Netflix, and I can list them all below. A few of them were Food Matters, Vegucated, can't remember what else. It wasn't until my second semester of my college year that I learned about the environmental impact of the meat and dairy industry, and was then even more inspired to go vegan ultimately, just because I am so passionate about ways that we can combat climate change as well. That same summer, summer of 2016, I slowly started transitioning to becoming vegan by first cutting out red meat, then chicken, then fish. Then over the summer, at the same time, I started learning about the ethics of it, having to do with animal welfare and the cruelty that's involved in this industry, both meat and dairy. And I watched a documentary called Earthlings that was extremely impactful to me. I'd never seen anything quite that gruesome. I was literally bawling my eyes out. I still remember my mom walking into the room and freaking out, saying, "What happened?" I could barely talk. I was like mumbling to her, saying, "I just can't do this, it's so horrible, I don't understand." And she went into the other room and watched it for herself. And all that footage was documented undercover by an investigator. It's absolutely unbelievable, so I'll link that below as well if you'd like to see that. The process of going vegan wasn't difficult for me, just because I had that strong foundation of reasons why I was doing it, and still to this day have those reasons for maintaining a vegan lifestyle and remaining vegan. So the process of going vegan wasn't difficult because I had that reasoning to drive me and keep me on the straight path towards ultimately reaching my goal of no longer consuming any meat or dairy products. Eating and the food aspect of veganism, I would say, is actually the easiest part. I don't struggle with knowing what to eat, but leading up to going vegan, I did watch a lot of What I Eat in a Days, and I feel like that was very helpful. And honestly, I would say that was probably what helped me the most. So if you're thinking about going vegan, that's definitely something I would suggest doing. The only part about veganism that is difficult, I would say, is other people kind of attacking you and always feeling like you have to defend yourself and defend your lifestyles and defend what's on your plate, even though it doesn't affect other people. So I would say that's the only difficult part, but it's not difficult enough to where it would ever stop me from continuing to be vegan. I think that's why it's so important to have that strong foundation of what you've learned and why you're going vegan and why you're making this change, because that's ultimately what's gonna get you through any hurdles that you may come across along the way. As far as food, I don't let things slide. When I go to the grocery store, I won't buy anything that's not vegan. And as far as other items, like beauty items, since going vegan, have only bought cruelty-free for the most part. And I want to now, going forward, only buy vegan products just because it's become too important to me, and veganism is something that I become more and more passionate about every day. So I feel like that's the next step by making that final transition into other items in my life besides food, because veganism is so much more than even just the food. But on the topic of beauty items, when going vegan, you don't have to throw out all the non-vegan or non-cruelty-free items that you already have. It's so wasteful. So I still use a lot of products that I had from before I was vegan that are not cruelty-free or vegan. So obviously I'll just finish those and no longer purchase any non-vegan items, but you don't have to throw out everything that you already have. You already paid for it, and your dollar is your vote, so there's nothing you can do now. Throwing it away isn't gonna really do anything. It's what you do from this point on, so. I am still trying to figure out myself how to go about dealing with this situation, and I don't know, I guess it kind of depends on the person that you're talking to. When you kind of feel it's more just someone provoking a debate, whatever you say is gonna go in one ear and out the other if they're not really open to listening to you. If I'm speaking to someone that I'm a little closer to, even if they are closed-minded to veganism, I feel like then it's a more comfortable space to kind of try to communicate why I'm vegan and all of the reasoning behind it. But at the same time, you don't want to try to be an expert just because you're not, and although you have learned so much and been exposed to so much accurate and proven information, oftentimes people aren't going to find you that credible. So it's often better to maybe just say you would rather refer them to the resources that you've used to learn about veganism. I do support vegetarianism. I think that even so much as having a few vegetarian or vegan meals a week is great, because it's still a step in the right direction towards the ultimate goal, which is veganism. But I would hope that anybody who is vegetarian, I would hope that because they were open-minded enough to do that, that they would be open-minded enough to continue doing their research and ultimately become vegan in the future. I would say my favorite specialty vegan item, if this is referring to like fake meats and dairy, that's what I'm guessing that it is, would be Gardein. And there are two of my favorite products from theirs are the Korean barbecue and the orange chicken. So good. But I don't eat a lot of meat and dairy alternatives. Just gotta try to eat more fruits and vegetables and whole grains and natural foods, but I do eat them on occasion. Meat and dairy alternatives I think are great for transitioning, and they are obviously so much better oftentimes than meat, just because they don't have the cholesterol. They're better for your health, they're better for the environment because they are plant sourced and plant-based, better for the animals. It's really these products that have helped so many people that are hung up and stuck on meat and dairy to a better and healthier lifestyle by becoming vegan. So I think they're great. Also, if on occasion you're missing a certain food that contains meat or dairy, they're great to splurge on and have a little treat. Still, just to reap the most health benefits that you can out of being vegan and seeing just how great you can feel on this diet and in this lifestyle. Definitely eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, and natural unprocessed foods for the majority of your diet. I don't feel judged by other vegans, and I don't deal with it just because I don't know any vegans in real life, so there's not even opportunity for that situation to arise. I personally love being vegan. I feel so great knowing that every single meal that I put on my plate 3 times a day is a positive shift towards a better society for myself and for the people that I love through bettering their health, a better society through combating climate change and making a better environment for all of us to live in, and for the animals. Animals are not here for us to make use of. Their flesh isn't even nutritious to our body. There's no need for us to eat them. Knowing that I'm making a greater change just every single day, although it's not the most that you can do, like the vegan couple here on YouTube says, it's the least we can do. I would never change my decision that I made over a year ago to go vegan, and I can't wait to see where veganism takes the world in the future. That's the end of the video. This was the last question, so I hope you enjoyed watching this and it was insightful in some sort of way if you were interested or unsure about certain things having to do with veganism. And I'll leave a bunch of resources down below if you're interested in continuing to learn about veganism. So yeah, thank you for watching again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!